Thousands more federal workers were fired by the Trump administration. The targets included education, homeland security, and health and human services, including the CDC.
Less than a month into his term, President Trump took a victory lap at the Daytona International Speedway Sunday. President Trump and billionaire ally Elon Musk have worked to reshape and downsize the federal government, a move his supporters are cheering on.
I think he came in, pedal to the metal, as they would say here.
But bearing the brunt of the cost cutting are the tens of thousands of probationary federal workers, newer hires who have been in their roles for a year or two. Close to 1,300 of those employees have been terminated from the Centers for Disease Control, and we're learning about thousands more across other government agencies.
I'd say the last couple of weeks, there was a lot of stress, fear, and tension.
Chelsea Milburn, based in Nevada, was fired last week from the Department of Education. She started last fall, but before that, she served more than a decade in the U.S. Navy. She's part of the approximately 30% of federal workers who are military veterans.
The message right now is that the people making the decisions about whether or not we keep our jobs, how we're treated, and how the termination of our jobs are handled don't care about our service.
The Department of Veterans Affairs announced last week more than 1,000 workers were fired, but the majority of the agency's 43,000 probationary employees are exempt. Democratic senators say the wider cuts are having a negative impact.
And now it starts. Today is a sad day for the federal workers. Termination day. Trump signed the orders. We saw this coming. Throughout these next 4 years, working a federal job might not be the thing to do. Listen, I'm not going to talk too much. Family, you already know what to do. If you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. Let's get into it.
It's been a day today. As you guys know, I'm a federal employee and I'm in my probationary period. So if you've been paying attention, you know what that most likely means for me in the next couple days. They're having a big rally today in my city to show our upset about everything that's happening, about all of the families that are being affected by these ridiculous and awful layoffs that are just going to cost the taxpayers more in the long run anyway. And I didn't go, which is not typical for me. And I thought I would just talk about that because I feel like we have to do more. The rallies are not doing what we want them to do, especially not here in a deep red state where there is no logic, there is no empathy, there is no like caring about other people. Like that's not really our thing here, you know. But I'm seeing the rallies and the responses to, we've had so many, and they've been really well done, and they've had large turnouts, but the people in charge right now, they don't care. They don't care. If 100,000 people showed up to rally right now, they would be like, oh well. We have to figure out what to do that's more than that, to actually be heard, to actually make a change, because the leaders that we have right now don't give a shit about us. And that has to change somehow, but marching and picketing, it's not enough.
Hello. I was a federal worker who had 1 month left of her probationary period, and today I was told that I will be terminated at some point this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation was exceptional and I got upwards of $1,500 as a bonus because my performance was so good. And this was my dream job, and it's just being taken away by an administration who doesn't care about science. It doesn't care about people who might be homeless with their dog now. They don't care about our species that we're trying to conserve. That's exactly what my job was doing. It was just to assess habitat conservation for species for a 55-year habitat conservation plan. We should all be so mad right now. We should all be crying like this because I'm just devastated.
Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today has been very frustrating for me. I had a minor anxiety attack at work. I don't know what's going on with this administration. I don't know why Trump feel like he need to attack the federal government. Well, I do know why, but it's all fake news. Why he thinks he needs to attack the federal government. As many of you guys that have watched my previous videos may know, I am a new federal government worker. I've been in my current position about 4 months, and the way it's looking, I'm on the chopping blocks. If we have a RIF, I don't know how to feel about that, because being a veteran, you know, you get told go work for the federal government, you'll have job security. In the 2025 with this administration, that's not true. There's no job security here. I am worried that I might not even have a job come mid-February, end of February. They said the government was shut down March the 14th. I don't even know I'm gonna be here to see that shutdown. I just want to, you know, come on here and talk to you guys. I don't have many answers, and there's so many questions. My supervisors don't even have answers to my questions, so I definitely don't have any answers for you guys. I just want to, like I said, I just want to come on here and be with my people and hear what you guys got to say, and hopefully you guys give me some encouraging words, and I can give you guys some encouraging words, and we just commune that way. So I would like to hear from everybody in the comments. All right, talk to you later.
In 2025, we have to come to realize job security, that was a lie. You were sold a gimmick. You were sold a dream. There's no job security. That does not exist. You've seen the federal workers get let go. They're downsizing the government. What's funny is I was watching a video. It was from 11 years ago. It was a young guy. He was talking about this same concept right here, the downsizing of the U.S. federal government and how that would be essential. Imagine having a family right now and you based your whole livelihood around this, or you just got out of college and you owe all of this money back. Now you have all of this debt for a career that didn't even promise you longevity.
It's February 18th, 2025, and the Trump administration has begun their mass layoffs. The first people to be cut were mostly within their probationary period still. However, over President's Day weekend, many workers were fired. Some were not in their probationary period. And here are the numbers that we know so far. The Department of Energy has cut as many as 2,000 workers. 1,300 employees at the Department of Health and Human Services were cut, most specifically at the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. At least 2,300 workers were cut at the Department of the Interior. The Department of Homeland Security cut around 400 positions. The Department of Veterans Affairs cut 1,000 probationary workers. The Federal Aviation Administration fired 300 employees. Employees are being told that they have the right to appeal their removal to the board. They can also file an equal employment opportunity complaint as well as a grievance or a request for corrective action with the Office of Special Counsel. In addition to the appeals process, unions are also pursuing legal action. So stay tuned. This is probably going to be a pretty rough.
So I got to work today at 3, and morning shift was still here. They don't get off until like 4:15, some shit like that, or whatever. But yeah, so as they about to get off, they get a message basically telling them to meet in a fishbowl. They gotta have a meeting. And they had a little meeting. They come back out and they're snapping, crying, slamming shit because they got fired and whatnot. All probationary employees got fired today. Basically, tomorrow is technically my last day. Me knowing and working and still having to come to work. Got to bring my equipment back to work. Being a federal employee sucks. Whoever voted for that motherfucker, like, to be in office, as soon as he got in office, the first thing he do is do all this. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Yep, so that sucks. Being a federal employee is trash right now. My job was literally on the line for a while. I knew it, but this shit is real now. Because after tomorrow, I no longer have a job due to this shit. Yep.
Are y'all okay? Because as someone myself who has never, ever worked a day in my life in the public sector, seeing folks who work in the private sector celebrate federal workers losing their jobs and getting laid off, are y'all okay? You do realize that these are highly skilled, highly trained, highly educated people that you will now have to compete with in the workforce to get a job? These same people who were probably doing more than you and getting paid less, who are now going to compete for your job and might just be okay getting paid less? Why? Why are you celebrating? I'm genuinely confused who you think the government was employing. Do you know how competitive those jobs are? The lack of thinking right now. I just
There are a whole lot of miserable people these days. They get excitement or they get happiness out of seeing other people's downfall. So they want to see you fall off to make them feel better because their situation ain't all good either. Their situation is bad. They not doing good. They not feeling good. They're depressed. They're stressed. They don't know what the future holds. So seeing somebody else go through it, be like, okay, well, I'm glad it wasn't me. It's a relief. This is how some people think. It's not right, but this is how some people think. They celebrate your downfall. Maybe it's just the fact that the government has done so much malicious activity, but we're not talking about the workers. The workers didn't do that.
What the fuck is wrong with some of y'all, man? I've been seeing all the news about all these federal workers that have been getting fired, laid off, people that are on probation, people that aren't even on probation, that, some people resigned that were in higher positions because I'm pretty sure they didn't want to break the law. But I've been looking at like the news on TikTok and on other stuff, on other platforms, looking at videos on here. Some of you people are just terrible people, honestly. I've been seeing in some of the comments, people were saying like, oh yeah, go Trump, go Elon. Like, these people just lost their jobs. I saw another video. It was a couple days ago. This woman was talking about all the houses that were for sale in Washington, D.C. And this one woman was talking about, oh, these houses are worth millions of dollars. I wonder how they got it on their government salary. Like, these people haven't potentially been living there for years and they bought the house cheaper and it's just appreciate. Like, people don't understand appreciation of an asset. It's ridiculous. And then I responded to somebody talking about this, and this bitch gonna say, oh, I'm glad, like, if I have to suffer, or like basically saying, oh, if I have to suffer, so do they. Like, we all have to suffer through and manage all these cuts that are happening because of Doge. Like, what the fuck, bitch? What the fuck is wrong with you people, man? Y'all just on here just saying stupid fucking shit, man. Shit talking federal workers, people that have to, like, y'all clearly don't know how it works to get hired and have not had to navigate USA jobs and how difficult the requirements are. You have to have the resume tweaked a certain way. But you stupid ass hateful bitches come on this app laughing and enjoying that people are losing their jobs, cheering that shit on. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man? Like, damn, bitch, just because you hate your fucking life and your job doesn't mean everybody else has to suffer just like you. Just because you got fucked, not everybody else needs to get fucked. You hateful, dirty fucking bitches.
Hi, I'm a federal employee working at NASA. Yesterday afternoon, I made the gut-wrenching decision to resign. Let me explain why. I've been working at NASA for 3 years remotely. I live in Texas and I report to Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Though I understand the push for federal employees to hold the line, and myself have some healthy suspicion on how the government plans to pay us out until September 30th, I have to think about my family first. It is likely there will be efforts to continue downsizing the federal workforce even after the deferred resignation deadline. Because of this, many remote distance employees cannot relocate in good faith, knowing that their position will still be on the line. It's important to remember that civil servants are American citizens too, and many of us are resigning because we feel as though we have no other choice.
Now that's what I mean when I say on these videos, see the writing on the wall. Just don't be another sheep being led to the slaughterhouse. You see everybody else losing their job Just because you have yours, don't be like, oh, well, at least I got mine. No, you have to think strategically. You have to plan for an escape, plan your exit. Beat them to it. Beat them to the punch. You want to already have a plan, already have another job secure, already have your side hustle going. That way, if they do let you go, like I said, you're not worried. Your family is okay. You don't got to worry about being homeless. How are you going to eat? Or you could do what she did and go ahead and step out of this job. Don't let them fire you. I'm actually done. That way you can already be months ahead. You get me?
So this message is for my federal employees out there. Many of you probably have heard that at some point, federal agencies are going to be conducting a reduction in force, or what's called a RIF. And for all my veterans out there, you do have some protected status. And I'm going to say that on your SF50, you should be checking box 23 and box 26. Both of those boxes will give you an idea if you have protections against a RIF. And so sometimes that means that you may not be able to stay in your job per se, especially if they're wanting to get rid of it. But that does mean that you would be eligible to be reclassified into a new position more than likely. So box 23 and box 26 on your SF50. Also, please make sure that you're getting complete copies of all of your performance evaluations. In addition to that, complete copies of your EOPF. I think this will be helpful in terms of identifying, proof of your status, of your performance, etc., your tenure status and things like that. Also, it would be a good time to update your resume in the event that you do need to be moved into a new position and being able to reflect your skill set. Words of advice, I anticipate these risks coming sooner than later.
So federal employees who accepted Donald Trump's buyout are now finding out that the buyout is being terminated along with their jobs. It's, once again, it's almost like people kept trying to tell you not to trust anybody in this administration, especially the muskrat. He did the exact same thing. He did the exact same thing with the exact same email when he took over Twitter and turned it into X. He told people who work there they can accept a buyout, they will get paid for a few months, and then they will have time to find a new place to work. They did not come back, took his little buyout, immediately he cut them off. And a lot of those people who it happened to warned federal employees not to do it. Now, the vast majority said no, and now we're seeing layoffs happen in other ways. But those layoffs can be defended by Congress. They can be argued to be rescinded, and those people could potentially get their jobs back. The ones who accepted the buyout are asked out. What were you thinking? It is not just liberal propaganda that people are telling you not to trust Elon Musk, not to trust Donald Trump at a time like this. They are making decisions based off of what can put more money back into their pockets. They're not making decisions that will put money back into ours. Every single time they come to you and say, hey, why don't you trust me? And you say yes, they screw you over. But people keep doing it. People keep falling for the BS. At some point, people need to realize that they are not going to change. So it is up to us to be smarter than the idiots running this government.
That's honestly how it's looking. It's looking like those two are up there doing a money grab. They trying to get as rich as possible. I can see the greed. I told y'all, I'm not into politics now. It might be some good for the citizens as well, but we got to think about it. This man, Trump, is a businessman. He really trying to save himself. He got to save himself first. That's really what he doing. And I rock with him as a businessman, but I don't rock with no president because I'm not into politics. Like I said, I'm a watchman. I see what's going on. I do see that they're probably using this man, and he's going to carry out the agenda. And I know he is. It's the times we're living in. It's the end time. So everything has to go according to scripture anyway. What's going to happen is already written. It's like a movie. We just watching. It's sad, but it is what it is. This is why I recommend every single video. Let's focus on self-sustainability. Let's focus on getting out of the system. Let's focus on creating our own jobs, our own streams of income. One is too close to none, right? Let's focus on being whatever it is we dreamed of. It's time now. Follow that, because clearly following this system, that's not working. The American dream, it's not working. It's done and over with. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is the definition of insanity. The 9 to 5 is dead. 2 shots to the head. Keep it real with y'all. Listen, man, it's your brother YT. Y'all see what's going on. It's time to bet on you. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you watching. It's your brother YT, man. Peace. Shalom.